Okay, real quick, by way of showing how I would be setting this up for your resources as well as helping you with your gradebook right now, we'll start with this. For your gradebook, I see that you've got this set up into essentially 5 categories here. We have the 2 essays in the essay category, obviously. We have 10 individual assignments that fall under short writing practices or quizzes, and those, and then we have research project, shorter papers, and there's 5 different steps to that. There's also a final draft for the research paper, and then there's the self-reflection comparison essay. So those are the 5 areas. Now, I'm going to go ahead and break these into categories in the gradebook, and I will include the 2 essays as 2 assignments within a with a single category. Then there will be 10 assignments obviously in the next section. There will be 5 assignments in the following section, while final draft and the self-reflection will only have 1 assignment per category. But we'll go through those real quickly. What I have done in a shell of my own, not in your course, and here's something that's going to be important. If you have different levels of weight within a given category, as you do in some of yours, what you're going to choose is weighted mean of grades. However, for the category where you have 10 assignments, then they're all worth the same amount of points, 10 points or 100 points, it matters not. They'll be averaged against one another in terms of a mean of grades. So we're just going to use mean of grades for the quiz thing where you have 10 of the same grade level, and we'll use weighted mean of grades for those where the individual assignments have different weights, if that makes sense. I've gone ahead and set it up the way I imagine you might want to. You can see there again we have the essay category with both of those in there. Now what's going to happen here is we want that weight to be 23 because that's what you said. It turns out that these both have an assigned score already, but their weight will ultimately be 100% of 23. Next down, we have writing practices. Now, I didn't put in all 10 of these just because for the sake of time. But what we would do with this is we would say there's 10 points all total. That's the weight. But then we will make that this is just a mean of grades because all 10 of these are scored the same. It doesn't matter what the score is. If they're all scored the same, then we know 10% of the total grade will reflect that. And then we scoot down here again, and now here we have different weights on each of the assignments. So I can choose weighted mean of grades. I know it's going to be 34 out of the total. Of course, we don't have to do any weighting of the assignments here, so we have just mean of grades. We have 20 for this category, 13 for this category. And that should give you exactly what you want. Now, I'll show you how to do it real quick. In the last minute of this little tutorial, we'll just show how to create categories and create assignments. If you don't need that, that's all that's remaining. I'll add a couple of grade items that will show up in the grade book here real quickly, and you may have already done this. So I hit add a grade item. This is an assignment, obviously, and I will name it. And I want it to have a value as the grade type as opposed to scalar text. Maximum grade is going to be 100. Why not? Now the grade category, and this is the important part, is I have to pop it in one of these categories, and it turns out that I'm going to say this is an essay, for instance. And now it's there. I hit Save Changes, and now we'll come up here and we'll look under Essays. K-Test is now there, and it sort of messed up my system, but you get the point that that's how you add an assignment to a category. And then how you add a category, so I'll add another category here real quickly, and I will call this my final exam. And I'll just go through and make sure that it is the correct type of average, and then I'm pretty much done.